Alright folks, so here's an update on our head brushing up here, our top end rebuild. Went ahead and finally got the deck surface all cleaned up. And I tell you what, it took some time to do that. I still got to clean the pistons up yet, get all that carbon and all that stuff off of them yet. But took a little transmission fluid and put down the cylinder walls and kind of rubbed all that around and put a little bit of light coat on the deck surface there, and just kind of protect everything so it don't flash rust. Already did a little bit up there, but sorry, it'll come right off. It just rubs right off. I can take my finger and rub it off. But anyway, I'm gonna go back and I gotta clean the top of these pistons off here, and we'll be just about ready once we get all our parts in. Let that truck pass. But once I get all the rest of my parts in, I got the valve springs and all that stuff on the way. We'll put our heads together, lap the valves in, and we'll throw them back on this 305 here, and I think we'll call her good. Because I want to get this thing freshened up and get it wrapped up so we can get this truck back on the road until it's ready to get the 454. So it's gonna be a little while, but anyway, you talk about a job. That was a job and a half there, I tell you what, trying to clean all that stuff up, trying to clean that deck surface up. I mean, got a little bit of pits down in here, but that ain't gonna hurt nothing. And a little bit down in there, the gasket, that's from the old gasket, doesn't even lay right there, so that ain't gonna hurt nothing. Our new one will lay on top of that, but that ain't gonna hurt nothing at all. Now, if I hadn't mentioned this already, 305 head gaskets are different from 350 head gaskets. Because see how thick your cylinder wall is right in here. It's not literally that thick, but see how much space you got. You know, 350 it's much more narrow. So watch out for that, because if you go to put 305 head gaskets on, they're going to overlap there into your cylinder wall, and it ain't gonna be too good. So watch out, make sure you get the right head gaskets. There's a lot of head gasket kits out there that they're giving 350 head gaskets and calling quote unquote a 305 gasket kit. Well, all the gaskets are the same on pretty much everything except for the head gaskets. So that's the only thing that ain't the same. Now your oil pan gaskets are slightly different, so you got to watch on this. This is a 85 early 86 motor here. This is about 1 year before they started doing the roller swap and went to the TBI, but the oil pans are slightly different. This is not a one-piece rear main seal. This is a passenger side dipstick, because the 80 to the 86 block uses a slightly different oil pan gasket there, so you got to watch out for that. It's mainly on the passenger side, but most of them kits, it really don't matter. That you can make all that work, because they usually come with both setups there. So you got to watch out for that. Now the one-piece rear main gasket, I think that's different too. So it's like 3 different styles. You got the 2-piece, like the Generation 1, then you got the Generation 2, which is basically what this is, and then Generation 3 is one they went to the 1-piece rear main seal. And so you gotta watch out for that. Make sure you get the right head gaskets and get your the correct oil pan gaskets. But I'm not really pulling the oil pan off yet. I think I'm going to throw a new cam and set of lifters in this thing, and I pulled them all out, checked them, none of them are cupped or anything like that, and it's getting there. I just took a shop back and cleaned all that old gasket material out, and I'm gonna go back and clean all these head bolt holes out. I'm gonna take a chase and go through and clean all them out real good. But yeah, I just take a shop back and get all that trash and everything out of it, and it don't hurt nothing. But that's what a lot of people do. But I just hold the shop back in one hand, the other hand I'm taking, I'm cleaning the block so nothing don't fall down into the block or anything. But let's use that old shop back right there. It's been through hell and back, but it works pretty good. I mean, this is the shade tree way of doing it, but that's all right. It'll work. But that's what I do. That way, don't get nothing down in the coolant jackets or anything like that, or get nothing down into your, your oil pan or nothing like that. But I'm gonna change the oil obviously in this thing. I'm gonna take probably a quart or two, and we'll dump on down straight through our lifters there, and hopefully it'll flush. If it's anything real small there, and it'll flush all that out. We'll take a bunch of brake parts cleaner and spray all up in there and wash everything down to the bottom of the pan, and we'll take a quart or two oil and dump down it, our lifter valley there, and hopefully it should flush any trash out. And then we'll of course change our oil in it. And once we run in a little bit, make sure everything's good, I'll probably change it again after we get it running and make sure it's nothing obviously wrong with it. We'll probably change it one more time after that, and we'll probably call it good. But I think at this point, it's no point worrying about the zinc additive or anything like that. I ain't been running it anyway, so it ain't gonna really matter. But now when I go to put a new cam and new set of lifters in it, I'm just gonna get just a bare minimum stock cam and throw this thing just a stock replacement. There's nothing wrong with it, like I said, but I took the time and trying to do the heads, halfway right. I'm not no machine shop, nothing like that, but I'm trying to at least, do it, quote unquote, halfway right here. So, we'll at least do all that, and hopefully it'll last a little while, because we're going to put it in our Biscayne. I kind of think I made my final decision on. I think we're just going to go with this motor here, and we'll save the 87 Roller 305 for a spare. I'll probably go through that and throw a gasket kit in it and let her ride. But yeah, this thing's still got the cross hatching in it, believe it or not. But actually looks pretty good. It's got a slight ridge. You almost can't feel it, but you can see it's there. I can barely feel it. But I don't think I would call these true flat top pistons. They look like flat top, but on the edge here, I guess it's kind of like a beveled edge there. So I don't think I would call this a true flat top, but yeah, look at this transmission fluid. Look, it'll take that carbon right on off. Look at that. And it'll take it right on off. I think I might just let it use some of that and just wipe them back off. But I believe this block's still standard, and this is the second shade tree, I guess you would call it, rebuild here. But the guy had before, like I had mentioned already, he quote unquote rebuilt it too, but I think he just rerung it and freshened it up like I'm doing and kind of let it ride. But I tell you what, them cylinder walls look really good. They don't look like they got any gouging or anything, or see, maybe just a tiny bit right in there. That cylinder wall right in there, and a little bit on that one maybe. But I tell you what, these cylinder walls look really good. Cross hatching is still there, and tell you what, it looks really, really good. I can't even feel that ridge. You can see it, but you almost can't feel it, so if that makes sense. But we're not boring anyway. I will never take this to a machine shop. It ain't worth it. It's a 305. But I'm gonna take this old 283 head here and throw it back on. And yeah, I know if you wondering, yeah, I hate to set a dirty head right back on that motor after I just spent all this time, trying to get all the trash and dirt and everything else out of this thing. But I'm gonna have to clean it out again anyway before I put the other heads back on permanently. But that's just to keep moisture out of it, because I don't want it to be open like this here, where to get a bunch of moisture in it and get in them cylinder walls. That ain't good. But anyway, I gotta do the other side yet. Gotta clean that side off, get it cleaned up, take some transmission fluid, put around them cylinder walls, and spin it over a couple times just to get all that tranny fluid all over them cylinder walls, so it don't, I don't want this block to get ruined here, because then it's kind of pointless doing all this work. I don't want it to sit out and get a bunch of water in it and rust the cylinder walls all up, and it's trash then. Well, then you have to take it to a machine shop and get it bored and all that. But it's not good to leave something open like this too long, especially during the winter, all the moisture and everything. But I'm trying to keep it kind of closed up there. I'm gonna put that head back on here, and I think we'll call it good. And we'll get that other side knocked out, and hopefully once the parts come in here another day or two, we'll get them heads put back together and slap them things back on here, and I'll clean the intake up, get that in, get a distributor in, and hopefully get this thing running again, because I kind of miss this truck. I kind of need it. I need to take a load of stuff off the bed here. I need to take it to the dump. Bunch of junk. There's a tail light that broke. But anyway, that's where we're at. So y'all take care. Bye.